I wondered about auditioning because the Freaks and Geeks audition is on YouTube.
I know.
And I watched that and I go, God, that's really brave, because I would think there'd be some inclination in any actor's head that I have to make an impression, right? And yet there's this subtlety to that audition that you have no sets and no wardrobe and everything. You could think that subtlety could get lost if you weren't in the hands of really capable filmmakers watching that audition.
Yeah, you know, when I auditioned for that, originally the story I knew was they didn't want to see me. And I remember thinking that all I want to do, I most likely will not get this role. All I want to do is do what I feel I see on this page, you know? And so I think, which as a young actor, I feel like, or anytime, you can fall into the trap of wanting to do what you think people want to see.
Right.
And so I was fortunate because of that sort of obstacle. I didn't have that in my head. I wanted to put forth exactly what I felt was there.
So by thinking, oh, I'm not going to get this anyway, you can like
experiment. It allowed me to have
it.
a certain kind of freedom. Anyway, of sorts. I don't know why, but it actually made me braver in some ways. But when I found out that the audition was available for viewing, my face got hot and I got terrified, because I feel like auditioning is so hard as it is.
But it also says something about the lexicon of that show and where it is in history that the auditions would be online and watched a lot. Like,
yeah.
It does say something about, you know, the influence that show has that's there. I mean, it's sort of a you know, sort of the dichotomy of something becoming successful is those things come out.
Well, and I remember, you know, they had us audition with each other too.
Okay, because
so
that was
the first time that was just us.
Okay.
And then they had us come in and audition with each other. And I remember seeing everybody, mostly everybody. I remember seeing them in the waiting room. They were bringing things to the table that were very different than what was necessarily on the page, and it was a very creative process from the beginning. But I remember seeing James Franco walk in with like a gas station shirt on, with a name tag on, and that wasn't hip yet. That wasn't hip yet. So I was like, what is that guy doing in a that's either the coolest thing I've seen or you know, it was cool, but it was not normal. And then I remember seeing Jason playing at Stone, and I just remember seeing all these things that people were bringing to it in a really real way, and they were incredibly unique.